News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and 98.3 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Political pleas intensifying as the May 25th special election looms. Good morning, everyone. Montana Morning. It is Monday, May 15th, 2017. Beautiful morning in western Montana. A little crisp out there. We have 36 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning is sponsored by First Montana Bank, your home for free Centennial checking plus unlimited cash back every time you use your debit card. One of our top stories this morning, Vice President Mike Pence rallied fellow Republicans in Montana in support of God, guns, and Greg Gianforte. Nice alliteration there. The Republican candidate for the state's only congressional seat. Pence implored the crowd of hundreds at the Metro Park Pavilion at Billings to help elect Gianforte, who he said would be an ally to the Trump administration. Pence urged Gianforte's supporters to spread out into the expansive state to help recruit supporters for Gianforte, who faces Democrat Rob Quist and Libertarian Mark Wicks in a May 25th special election. And speaking of Rob Quist, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is scheduled to visit Montana this coming weekend to campaign for Democrat Rob Quist as he seeks the U.S. House seat. Quist's campaign announced Friday that Sanders would appear at rallies in Missoula, Butte, and Billings Saturday, May 20th, and Bozeman on May 21st. The one-hour events are set for 11 a.m. at the Wilma in Missoula, 3 p.m. at the Butte Civic Center, 8:30 p.m. at the Billings Depot. Bozeman's rally is scheduled for 11 a.m. next Sunday at the Montana State University Strand Union Ballroom. Sanders, an independent, sought the Democratic nomination for president in 2016. He beat Hillary Clinton 51 to 44% in Montana's primary. Dr. Jennifer Eastern, a 1989 UM graduate from Lewistown, Montana, has taken on global responsibilities at her position on the World Bank and offered advice from her life experience to students graduating from the University of Montana. She was the commencement speaker on Saturday. Dr. Eastern went right to work with some very practical pieces of advice for students. The first, she said, was to save, and offered this comparison.
What would yield you more savings? $100 a month for 40 years or $300 a month for 20 years? The answer, just $100 a month. That'll yield you over 40 years, $118,000. And that is the power of compounding interest. So start early. The lesson here really is it's not about how much money you make, but it's about how much money you save.
Eastern's second piece of advice.
Today is your university graduation, but it is hopefully not the end of your learning process. Michelangelo reportedly said at age 87, "I'm still learning." This is a quote I've had on my desk for 20 years, and it motivates me daily. Train your mind to learn and invest in your ongoing skills and knowledge.
The third nugget of wisdom from Dr. Eastern was simply to be grateful.
First, be grateful for your own health. Take care of yourself and balance work and life. Don't work so many hours that you lose yourself to work or damage your health. Second, be grateful for the friends and family who helped you along the way. Third, be grateful for community.
In all, 3,088 students received nearly 3,500 degrees on Saturday. Authorities in western Montana have released the name of a couple that died in a murder-suicide at a residence east of Corvallis. Valley County Sheriff Steve Holton said the investigation determined 75-year-old Wesley Coffin shot and killed his wife, 69-year-old Kaylin Ray, and then shot himself. Their bodies were found the evening of May 7th by officers conducting a welfare check. The investigation is ongoing. Missoula fire crews were called out to a hotel fire off Reserve Street early Friday morning. Fire Chief Jeff Brandt said the fire was called in around 5:20 a.m.
Hotel manager on site saw smoke coming from the attic area, and by the time crews arrived on scene, there was pretty heavy black smoke coming from the structure. The manager did a great job getting all the folks evacuated out prior to us arriving on scene, so we didn't have a life safety issue to deal with straight away.
The fire climbed inside the structure, and firefighters used the ladder truck to help beat the flames back.
The ladder company was able to just ladder the building and get up, and we had to vent a hole because the fire was up in the attic space. So small building like that, we're estimating that to be a property damage of about $100,000, and the whole structure is worth about $350,000 on our guesstimate.
Brandt praised the hotel manager for quickly evacuating the building and being alert and calling in the blaze. The investigation into how it got started still underway. 30-year-old David Basie was arrested early Friday morning after allegedly firing a handgun at the ceiling of a second-floor apartment with another floor directly above. Police Public Information Officer Travis Welsh said the incident occurred in the same apartment complex that was the site of a drug deal shooting back in April.
Officers learned that there had been a verbal argument between the couple, and that during the course of that argument, the male, Mr. Basie, who was 30 years of age, retrieved a handgun and actually fired off a round inside the apartment on an upward trajectory.
Welsh said the couple lived on the second floor of a 3-story apartment building.
As they live on the second floor, the officers became concerned for persons who lived directly above them because of that fired gunshot. They did make contact with persons that lived directly above and were happy to see that nobody was injured. However, due to the circumstances, Mr. Basie was taken into custody, arrested for criminal endangerment.
Basie was released on bond after his Friday Justice Court appearance. Opposition to the 4-state Dakota Access Oil Pipeline has boosted efforts to persuade banks to stop supporting projects that might harm the environment or tread on indigenous rights. But calling the divest movement a success might be a stretch. It doesn't appear to be keeping energy companies from getting financing, nor does it seem to concern the lending industry. Pipeline opponents see victory in the fact that they've made financial institutions more aware of indigenous rights. They're intent on keeping up the fight on projects such as the Keystone XL pipeline, which runs through Montana. Vanessa Green with the Divest Invest initiative says what was once an environmental movement now includes social justice and indigenous rights. It's been 13 years since maintenance work has been done on Orange Street. That will change starting today. City of Missoula Communications Director Ginny Miriam said the work will begin in a little over an hour.
Our street division crews will be doing milling and pavement maintenance on Orange Street between 6th Street and the south end of the Orange Street Bridge.
Miriam said Orange Street is a state route, but the city has a maintenance contract that includes Orange Street, so the work being done is at the request of the state.
What happens on Orange Street is it has heavy traffic, and so eventually ruts appear where vehicles drive, and then water gets trapped there. And of course, we know what happens then, which is that it erodes the pavement and creates potholes.
With construction continuing on the Madison Street Bridge and on the Orange Street exit off Interstate 90, drivers are urged to take extra time to reach their destinations. And finally, I'll use the pun at the end. A Montana beekeeper has recovered hives that were stolen from him in California, thanks to an agricultural, shall we say, sting operation. They beat me to it. Lloyd Cuniff of Shoto reported 488 hives stolen back in January after he had transported them to California for the almond pollination season. A tip led Fresno County authorities to find stolen hives worth $170,000 in a rented bee nursery space, a cow pasture, and hidden in a drainage along a freeway. Fresno County Detective Anders Solis, member of the county's Agriculture Crimes Task Force, said there were 10 victims in 7 California counties in all. The Great Falls Tribune reports Cuniff got most of his bees back last Sunday. He says he's keeping the recovered hives in a separate field in case they're infected with disease or mites. Our Newstalk time now, 6:13.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Low clouds and patchy fog will give way to a mix of sun and clouds today with our high temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s. Isolated showers will be possible, but showers are likely as we head into your Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the 40s and 50s. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster, KECI 13.